To build the largest power station on Earth, China didn't just move mountains, it moved cities. Over 1 million people. Thousands of years of history. One river, forever changed. This is the Three Gorges Dam, a wall of concrete over 2 kilometers wide, holding back the Yangtze River, the third longest river on the planet. It generates more electricity than any other power station in human history. It cost over $30 billion. And it remains one of the most controversial engineering projects ever completed. For centuries, the Yangtze River was both a gift and a curse. It irrigated farmland and powered trade, but it also flooded violently. In 1954, floods killed over 30,000 people. In 1998, floods displaced 14 million more. China needed control over this river, and it needed power to fuel an economy growing faster than almost any in history. The idea for a dam at the Three Gorges wasn't new. Sun Yat-sen proposed it in 1919. But it took until 1992 for China's National People's Congress to approve construction, after decades of debate, feasibility studies, and political hesitation. Even within China's own government, the project was controversial. Nearly a third of delegates abstained or voted against it, an almost unheard of dissent for the time. The scale of what needed to be built was staggering. Engineers had to design a dam wall stretching 2,335 meters long and 185 meters tall, capable of withstanding the pressure of a reservoir holding 39 billion cubic meters of water. The Yangtze itself had to be diverted, twice. While construction continued, using temporary channels and one of the largest river diversion efforts ever attempted. Construction ran from 1994 to 2006 in 3 phases. The river was first diverted around a construction zone. Then a temporary diversion channel allowed work to continue while the main dam body rose section by section. Over 27 million cubic meters of concrete were poured, enough to build a wall around the equator and back, several times over. The dam houses 34 hydroelectric turbine generators, with a combined capacity of 22,500 megawatts, more than 10 typical nuclear power plants. A massive ship lift was built so vessels could be raised or lowered nearly 113 meters, the height of a 30-story building, in minutes instead of hours. But behind the statistics was a human story rarely shown in promotional footage. Over 1.3 million people were relocated from cities and towns that would soon be underwater. Entire towns, some over 1,000 years old, vanished. Archaeological sites, some never fully excavated, were lost beneath the rising reservoir. The benefits were real. Flood control protected tens of millions downstream. Clean hydroelectric power offset hundreds of millions of tons of coal use. River navigation improved dramatically. But the environmental cost was also real. Increased seismic activity near the reservoir, landslide risks along reshaped banks, and disrupted ecosystems for species like the Yangtze finless porpoise. The Three Gorges Dam is, depending on who you ask, either one of humanity's greatest engineering triumphs, or a warning about the price progress can demand. It generates more clean power than any structure on Earth. It also erased pieces of history that can never be recovered. Both things are true at once. That's the real story of the Three Gorges Dam. If you want to see more stories where engineering changed the course of history, for better or worse, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. Was the Three Gorges Dam worth the cost?